Hi everyone, I'm back with another video to test the updated special attack for the Zamorak Bow and how does it compare against the Dark Bow, specifically when they are in an essence of finality. The Zamorak Bow now costs 40% adrenaline and shoots 2 arrows that deals 160 to 180% ability damage each, while in comparison to a bow that we all know, the Dark Bow costs 65% adrenaline and shoots 2 arrows that deals 190 to 230% ability damage each. So in theory, Zamorak Bow is the weaker version of the Dark Bow. It just costs less adrenaline to use it. However, I'm going to be stress testing both of these specs at a place where there will be lots of incoming damage. This place is Hard Mode Vorkath. Testing on a boss like this is definitely more realistic than testing it on a dummy. Now, if you see my other videos, I have done Hard Mode Vorkath before with range, without resorting to having tons of swasm in inventory or using an expensive grimoire.
Absolute fool! You should be using blue blubber jellyfishes to not lose adrenaline when eating.
Who the hell are you?
I am the voice of chaos in your head. You keep doing everything wrong. You must give in and do things the correct way.
Nonsense! Do not listen to Chaos. Let her use whatever she wants. Hard Mode Vorkath does too much damage for blue blubbers to consistently keep up.
And who are you?
I am the voice of Divinity, Armadillo follower.
This test is meaningless. Everyone knows Darkbow is a superior choice. All the pro PVMers, all the guides mentions Darkbow and EoF. Do not downgrade to Zamorak Bow, as much as I want you to come to Zamorak's side.
Have you forgotten that she doesn't do crossbow hydric switching, and as a result suffers from not having enough adrenaline to do anything, even with inspiration aura?
Okay, I heard enough. Both of you, go away. Anyways, since I am not that experienced in using a Darkbow EoF, I'm going to be picking the best kill for each of them in this stress test. I'll also walk through my thought process during the kills. Before I begin, I want to make sure I have these 3 things on screen that are active: an HP boost from the Pantheon Aura, damage reduction when equipping the Salve Amulet from the Powder of Protection, and the HP boost from a Thermal Bath. So as you can see, I use Anticipation right before the fight, just to get that little extra 10% damage reduction. And then I will put a Death Swiftness down, and then I will move to the right, so that later on I'll be able to move to the left and stay in Death Swiftness. My goal here is to get Vorkath down to 1.15 million HP so that I can phase it without having to deal with the ice spikes from Vorkath. Here I like to use Disruption Shield just to block that Dragon Breath attack or block a Necro attack, whichever one blocks. And normally when I use both the Last Guardian spec more than the Zamorak Bow spec, I would usually be able to get this goal done. So here I managed to phase it using the Zamorak Bow spec instead of both the Last Guardian spec. The outcome probably would have been the same anyway. So now that the first swiftness is finished, I kinda just improvise from here because I kinda don't wanna put another swiftness down. However, I have to keep in mind that using the second ballista is risky, so I have to make sure I use it before Vorkath phase. Once I see Vorkath using his Dragon Breath and then I use a ballista, it'll be too late. Luckily, I was just in time. So here I felt like I fit in more Zamorak bows than both Last Guardian specs before he flies away. So now my main priority is to get enough Death Sport stacks so that I can use Incendiary Shot and use defensives to try to reduce the amount of damage from Zamorak because he's going to be doing a lot of damage. From this point and on, it's going to be the true test of endurance and damage. A lot of damage is coming my way and I have to try to burst them down before it gets worse. Anyways, besides the whole Von Braun problem with Vorkath, when the ice spikes appear, Zamorak is about to use his Finger of Death, and I better be ready because right after that, ground spikes are appearing, so I want to make sure the ground spikes do not compromise my position. It's not shown here, but interestingly, if I had the Elite Dracolich buff for the 40% critical chance, I can probably fit in 2 Zamorak Bow specs versus 1 Dark Bow spec, and I have another chance of critting with the second Zamorak Bow spec. With Vorkath down, I gotta be careful about what to do now. I don't want to burst him right away because he's about to volley of souls and do a lot of damage, and my devotion's on cooldown, so I gotta prepare. Now that I'm near the end of the kill, I felt like there wasn't much of a difference compared to my usual time when I just used Bow the Last Guardian spec instead of the Zamorak Bow spec. Maybe it's a rotation problem, or like lacking adrenaline to use it properly, or just I'm taking too much damage and I'm eating these food that drains my adrenaline in order to heal up from Zamorak's damage. I don't know. Personally, I was not a fan of adding another switchscape just to not even beat my PR or even have a significant difference in my average time. So now I'm left wondering, will Dark Bow actually be able to make a significant change in my PR at Hard Mode Vorkath? I don't know. Let's find out soon.
My writhing flames shall engulf the rest of your measly dwelling.
So on this part, I fired my Dark Bow and now I have no adrenaline.
You will yield to my might.
See, with Dark Bow, I find myself, I can't even fire it often because I don't have enough adrenaline, and when I do, I tend to fire something else like Bow the Last Guardian just to refresh the spec.
You think that idiot creature's hide can protect you? Cut them down without mercy! Get up! Why must you test my patience?
And once again, I moved out of the way just to get those spikes from Zamorak out of the way and to avoid as much damage as I can. So that burst damage from the Dark Bow felt nice, but now I have no adrenaline.
Must I be forever plagued by lesser beings?
So with the boss almost dead, here are my final thoughts. I think the biggest problem with testing this in Hard Mode Vorkath was the constant need to switch when I'm using Self Amulet, and Self Amulet doesn't buff neither the Zamorak Bow or the Dark Bow spec, while Bow the Last Guardian spec is affected by it because it's my main hand weapon.
Entomb this.
So my average time hasn't changed, no PR is broken, I added more switch game, more strain on my hands, for nothing. At the end of the day, I'm sure you can find many great range rotations that utilizes a Godbow swap For me, it's just not for me. So therefore, use whatever information you're getting from this video to your own advantage. I'm personally not going to use Zamorak Bow or Dark Bow in my rotations at all. And yep, I definitely surged back into that. And here are the other times I had during my stress testing.
Time for you to actually learn proper range rotations.
Don't listen to chaos. The way you've learned PVM is how you are able to improvise under high pressure situations.
No, it's wrong. It's absurd. That's why she keeps letting herself stay at the amateur level. She'll never improve her PVM if she keeps being like this.
It's not because she didn't try. If she is too robotic in making sure the rotation is perfect, she will die a lot if a mechanic messes it up.
You go to Death's office. That's how you do it. Get good.
End the video. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks and bye.